My name is Lieutenant Aldo Rain. And I need me 8 soldiers. We're gonna be dropped into France dressed as civilians. We're gonna be doing one thing only. Killing Nazis.
Yes, sir!
Hi, I'm Nat, he's Matt, and we got your geek news right here.
And today we're reviewing Quentin Tarantino's awesome World War II epic macaroni combat, Inglourious Bastards.
By epic, we mean this baby is 2.5 hours, and by awesome, we mean that this was somehow not long enough.
You know, kidding. Quentin's characters in this one really leap off the screen, and you can tell this story once had a life as a 12-part miniseries.
Since those characters are what makes Inglourious Bastards so great, let's break this review down into bastards, bombshells, and Nazis.
And let's start this off spoiler-free for a while.
Quite frankly, watching Donnie beat Nazis to death is the closest we ever get to going to the movies. Donnie!
Yeah!
Guy's German here wants to die for country. Oblige him.
Lieutenant Aldo Rain. My God, I can see how Quentin had to have Brad Pitt for this one.
The scar on his neck, the Apache blood, his exploits in France. You can tell this character has a past, and Pitt brings it all to the screen.
And that dude definitely deserves to be as in demand as he is, because he was intense, hilarious, vicious, and heroic all at once.
And he speaks such great Italian. And his bastards, wow.
Oh, the Bear Jew, Donnie Donowitz, my God. I'm so glad that Adam Sandler could not do this, that he couldn't fit it in, because Eli Roth
was great.
Totally delivered.
He was fantastic at it. And you know what? Eli Roth, being the uber Jew that he is, was able to act as Quentin's advisor, Jew advisor on the film, which was fantastic.
Yeah, cool role to be able to actually be that character, because it's got to be therapeutic. Totally
well,
therapeutic.
yeah, in an interview that I read, he absolutely said that, you know, when he was beating that Nazi down, it was just cathartic for him. So, you know.
Wow. Now, Hugo Stiglitz, Till Schweiger's character was so insane. I loved it. That random whipping scene, when he's just sitting in the bar,
Quentin.
and he starts twitching, and then there's just, I love those random cutaways.
Yes, absolutely.
So much fun.
And Lieutenant Archie Hickox.
My God.
He was fantastic.
Michael Fassbender.
Oh my God, he had like a
guy.
small role, but he was just...
He was on fire.
On fire.
He was
smooth. He was
perfect.
Charmingly British.
Now, with that mustache, it was hard to recognize him, but he was the bad guy from Hex, and he was also one of the soldiers in 300. If you were looking at him trying to figure out what the heck he's from,
and why he's so familiar.
That is why he's so familiar. Oh, and such a great Englishman. It worked out so well. Now, watching the Bastards have to do, in essence, what the Bastards had to do in the 1978 film, which is really the only connection, I'd say, between the two films. Essentially, rising to the occasion to perform a mission when you're really just the wrong men for the job.
Oh, and the fact that Enzo Castellari appeared in a cameo as himself. Hilarious.
Why the hell is Goebbels doing stuff so damn peculiar?
It probably has something to do with the second development.
Which is?
Der Führer is attending the premiere.
The greatest thing about Diane Kruger as double agent Bridget von Hammersmark and Melanie Laurent as vengeful Shoshana was the fact that they spoke their mother tongues as citizens of their own countries.
Yes, casting Germans to play Germans and Francophones as Francophones. How novel. Quentin has some pretty refreshing common sense that Hollywood should maybe pay some attention to, because these two women were incredible.
Oh, from the tension of Hammersmark's barroom meeting to
Yeah.
Shoshana's incredible plot to take down the entire Third Reich, these women carried the story so well all the way through.
And in typical Tarantino fashion, the final chapter sews up their fate alongside the Bastards and, of course, the Nazis.
His name will be crowned in glory.
Who wants to send a message to Germany?
Nation's pride.
Okay, the role of Hans Landa has been pretty well publicized as the plum role in Bastards. And the perfect casting of Christoph Waltz is what made the entire film gel, according to Tarantino.
And if hearing that makes you think, you know, how brilliant this character is, you're not even halfway there.
Hans Landa, the Jew hunter, is a linguistic genius, the likes of which I have never seen on film. And the amazing thing is that he has this ability to disarm someone in one language and then somehow that demeanor sets up a cruel scenario for a second language, and then dive in for the kill in a third language, and it was just breathtaking to see performed.
Unbelievable.
The amazing thing is that it's not just the fact that there are 3 languages, it's the fact that each language carries a certain weight, and the fact that that language can be perceived by some people and not others, and it just sets him up brilliantly.
What really messes you up as a viewer, though, is that he's so polite and considerate and proper and pleasant, everything you don't expect a Jew hunter to be. But then, when he gets vicious, he's exactly what you were waiting for. I mean, I admired and feared him the entire time, and there's just so much tension every time he's on the screen, because you
So
never
much
know what
tension.
to expect.
Oh my God, there's a scene where you're just waiting for him to pop out with his knowledge that you expect him to have, and it's just like you're on the edge of your seat while they're eating
the entire
strudel.
time.
Oh my God. It's hard to even think about the other Nazi characters like Zoller, Goebbels, or even Hitler, because in the shadow of Landa, they're nothing.
Nothing. But they really ultimately ended up being pretty fantastic, as are all Tarantino characters. Daniel Brühl brought an amazing humility to the character of Zoller.
Oh, and Hitler was so perfectly ugly and red-faced and insane, and Sylvester Groff somehow managed to turn an equally sick-looking Goebbels.
And there was a
amazing.
wonderfully random doggy-style squealing sex scene with Goebbels to introduce his character as well. So, you know, go Tarantino.
Now let's break into the spoilers now. Okay, it turns out this film does not at all try to fit into history, not in the least.
No, Quentin rather decides to completely revise history and bring down Hitler in the most dramatic and epic way possible.
But you know, possibly the biggest question in this entire film is still looming unanswered.
What the hell was Mike Myers doing in there?
I mean, he wasn't bad, but
He wasn't bad at all.
He's
I
the
mean,
one
and you know
guy
what? Kudos
who's-
to the Canadian. Go Mike Myers. But
and he's the one guy who's
Brandon.
not the actual voice that he's playing. Like, he's the only guy putting on an accent. That was the hilarious thing. Well, I guess Pitt had a pretty good accent.
Well, that's
But
fair.
he's really just using his Jesse James voice
Well, I guess
for
with
evil.
Mike Myers, I never feel like he's playing a serious character. I feel like he's always a parody of something.
Yeah, and the fact that he just wasn't funny in this was very weird.
It was.
But anyway, we're gonna see this again tonight because it was so much movie. We just want it again. It was that much fun. So I guess you guys, how many times have you seen it? What did you think of it? Let us know on yourgeeknews.com, because this one is big. There are
Really
people
good.
saying it's the best one Tarantino's ever done. There are people saying that nothing...
It's definitely my favorite Tarantino film so far.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this speaks to me so much more than Pulp Fiction did. To me, this is exactly what I wanted
Although
to
I
see him
gotta
do.
throw out there, can you imagine that 1,000 years from now, this is the only piece of evidence of World War II? Can you imagine, like, you know, the history books are wiped out, but Tarantino's film exists? How messed up would that be?
I really hope people think this is how World War II ended. Because really, that was just glamorous. What a way to go down. What a way to go down. I loved it. Anyway, let us know what you guys thought on yourgeeknews.com, and we'll see you next time.
An American Secret Service outfit lives deep behind enemy lines. The Germans call them the Bastards. These Yanks have been them the devil.
Well, we're all tickled to hear you say that.